Ishikawa, Japan, January 2nd, 2024. Where several earthquakes and high waves caused terrible destruction.
来た。頼むわ。やばい、揺れとる。
やばい。
やばいな、俺。
Hundreds of thousands of people was affected after a massive earthquake hit the coast of central Japan on today. Prime Minister has warned that the damage is widespread and rescue teams struggling to access some remote areas. The magnitude 7 quake and many other aftershocks struck today near the Noto peninsula in Ishikawa prefecture, triggering the country's second major tsunami warning. Speaking on Tuesday, Kishida said extensive damage had been confirmed with the earthquake bringing down buildings. The Japan Meteorological Agency said the country had been hit by 155 earthquakes since the initial tremor on Monday. The search and rescue of those impacted by the quake is a battle against time, the Prime Minister said. Moreover, Kishida said rescuers were finding it very difficult to access the northern tip of the Noto peninsula, where helicopter surveys had discovered widespread damage to buildings and infrastructure. There are about 120 cases of people awaiting rescue, his government spokesperson later said. Authorities said rescue efforts had been hindered by damaged roads and that they were finding it difficult to access the full extent of the fallout. In Suzu, a coastal town of just over 5,000 households near the quake's epicenter, as many as 1,000 houses might have been destroyed, according to its mayor Masuhiro Izumiya. Across Ishikawa prefecture, authorities have confirmed hundreds of homes damaged so far, with half of those in Wajima, another hard-hit city in the remote northern tip of the peninsula. Wajima was hit by a tsunami of at least 4 feet. Aerial news footage showed devastation from a major quake as a 7-story building collapsed at the port. Some residents of Nanao City in Ishikawa said they had never experienced such a quake before. Nearly 100,000 people across 9 prefectures were evacuated and spent the night in sports halls and school gymnasiums. The building commonly used as evacuation center in emergencies in Japan. Almost 33,000 households remain without power in Ishikawa prefecture early on Tuesday, according to the electric power company's website. The NHK broadcaster said most areas in the northern Noto peninsula were also without water. As a result of the disaster, the Imperial Household Agency cancelled Emperor Naruhito and Empress Masako New Year's appearance, which had been expected to take place on Tuesday. Japan dropped its highest-level tsunami alert after issuing one following a series of major earthquakes today. They told residents of coastal areas not to return to their home as huge waves could still come. The Japan Meteorological Agency reported more than a dozen strong quakes in the Japan Sea off the coast of Ishikawa, a nearby prefecture starting shortly after 4 p.m. local time.
아, 우와. 우와.
The meteorological agency initially issued a major tsunami warning for Ishikawa and next lower-level tsunami warnings or advisories for the rest of the western coast of Honshu, as well as for the northernmost of the country's main islands, Hokkaido. The warning was downgraded to a regular tsunami several hours later, meaning the sea could still generate waves of up to 10 feet. Aftershocks also slammed the same area over the next few days, the agency said. Japanese public broadcaster warned that torrents of water could reach as high as 16.5 feet. The network continued to air warnings hours later as aftershocks rocked the region. Vehicles and other belongings have been known to be swept away and drowned even hours after the first evacuation warning. People were evacuated to stadiums, where they will likely have to stay for a few days. Japanese media footage showed people running through the streets and red smoke spewing from a residential neighborhood. Photos showed a resident standing by huge cracks that had ripped through the pavement.
Jesus, olha o carro. Ai, tô tremendo.
Bullet trains in the area were halted, although some parts of the service were restored by evening. Parts of a highway were also closed and water pipes had burst, according to NHK. Some cell phone services in the region weren't working. The meteorological agency said in a nationally broadcast that more major quakes could hit the area over the next week, especially in the next 2 or 3 days. More than a dozen strong quakes had been detected in the region, with risk of setting off landslides and houses collapsing, according to the agency. Some worker at a convenience store in Ishikawa prefecture said some items had tumbled from the shelves, but the biggest problem was the huge crowd of people who arrived to stock up on bottled water, rice balls, and bread. USA sent their condolences over the disaster and said they were ready to offer assistance. French president also expressed solidarity, where Italian prime minister offered condolences and assistance.